The biggest lesson that I wanted to impart on this first point is that in my dad's life, it was always God and family first and foremost. The other significant item that I believe what Father mentioned, and also my brother and others know of him, is that he was a very, very hard worker. He really believed that it had to be really in your blood, and he was very proud of that. That it was important for you to go out there, ply your trade, and earn your keep. And he was very proud in being a provider for his family and loved ones. I have a real quick story. I call it the pancake story. So when we were young, we split time between me and my sisters and brothers. We split time between being raised in Hawaii and in Northern California, my mom's side of the family. So our maternal grandparents who are Samoan also partly raised us. So the education system was better in California at the time. Ronald Reagan was president of the United States, by the way. So the education system was much better during the early 80s at the time. So rather than mom and dad pay for a private school tuition, why not get a good education by sending them to get a public school education in California? So that's what they did. So they sent us over to the Bay Area, and when mom and dad would visit us in California before they went to Vegas, they would swing by, visit us in the Bay Area, and sometimes come to school with me and my siblings. So one morning, mom and dad accompanied me to the elementary school, Sylvia Cassell Elementary, and stood in line with us. That morning, we had pancakes and sausages for breakfast. So mom and dad accompanies me, sits me down, and dad starts cutting my pancakes. Mom starts pouring the syrup. No sooner did I have a chance to say, "Thank you, Dad," he was nowhere around. He was at the other kids' table, at the other kids' trays, cutting every single one of the kids' pancakes for them. And he didn't even know who they were. So that says a lot about Dad as a human being. So what is the lesson out of that? Is to love more beyond just your family. Dad provided love to others that he didn't even know any of these other kids. But then for myself and my siblings, that made us very proud to say that he was our dad. Just something, a simple, small thing as an act of kindness as that. So. In keeping this short and sweet, at the request of family and others. So as you can see, they did pare it down quite a bit. So I will honor that too.
You're welcome, everyone.
Anyway, I digress. So we'll wrap it up here. Okay. I think this is important to say because I see my older brother over here, Tony. I love Manu Abi, my older brother Abraham, my older brother Junior here, Rizaldi over there on that side, my beautiful sister Elizabeth over here, Narita, of course, and others. Excuse me. I'm doing the eulogy. Okay. So, anyways, excuse me. Tony shared with me a story about. He shared with me a story, a fun factory story. So I'm going to let him tell the story, but the point of that story is for my dad. Of what happened in that instant was when Dad says something, say what you mean what you say. And I'll leave Tony to share that story when you get a chance to visit with him after. Okay. A couple more things real quick. Okay. All right, here we go. Final things. final things, because I think Dad would love for all of you to know this about him too. Dad was a devoted family man. He provided unwavering love, guidance, and support for everyone in his family. I mentioned also that he's a very devout Catholic. Dad was very spiritually connected and very proud of his faith in the Holy Trinity. And his faith in God was strong. Okay. Dad had a Bruce Lee t-shirt. You mentioned that very well. So Dad lovingly had a Bruce Lee t-shirt on a wire hanger that he used to hang in his closet growing up. That was one of his prized possessions. He loved martial arts. He loved boxing. He loved WWF, old school WWF wrestling, not the new one. He liked the old school WWF wrestling, especially his Japanese tag team, Jumping Bomb Angels. But, yeah. But Dad loved his Bruce Lee t-shirt that he hung in he actually hung a t-shirt with his postal uniform in the closet and wore his Bruce Lee t-shirt proudly at family gatherings and so forth. So I thought that was significant to share. Also, Dad loved old school country music. So this Filipino man who loves, we got Tammy Wynette, Hank Williams Sr., all of the old school classics. He loved that. As you know, he's a proud employee and retired of the U.S. Postal Service. As you see here, when you visited him, he's adorned with his Postal Service uniform at his request. Dad was a homebody, and his time was singularly devoted to his family. He didn't go really to the chicken fights. He didn't go play Pupito. It was no judging. He was all about his family. Just to give you and to wrap this up here, as I said, just so you understood, so with my mom worked at Shriners Hospital in Honolulu for many years. Her work schedule was, she got up in the morning at 4:35 in the morning. We lived on the west side of Oahu. That's a long drive. To beat traffic, she had to get up especially early. So her work schedule had her work from 6 till 3. My dad worked from 1 o'clock, 12 noon? He would leave at 12 noon, start at the post office at 1, get home at 10. So from Monday through Friday, my mom and dad didn't see each other. The only time they saw each other was when they were asleep. Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday is when my parents actually saw each other. Sunday was always family time for us to go to Kailua for Mass. Every Sunday. Saturday was a time for family time, or if my parents were going to spend time with their friends, because they treasured their friendships. And that's another lesson that was imparted to us, because my brothers and sisters, we have a lot of friends. We treasure them to the point where they're extended family. But that is by virtue of Dad's example, of how to treasure and honor your friendships. And the only way how we were able to be strong and come through here is because of all of you. So it's beyond family. All of you have been great in providing the support and love that we needed to be strong for you and for Dad. Okay, so I wanted to make that final point about my parents and the lesson about sacrifice. That Monday through Friday, they sacrificed a lot. My dad was very proud of the fact that my brother Tony went to Father Damon High School. He was a big football fan of my brother here, of all of his children, but especially for his eldest, who is a namesake, the third. And there's good reason why, with my brother also serving our country in 2 of the wars that we've had honorably in uniform. So that was the final thing I wanted to impart to all of you insofar as the legacy and the spirit of our dad on behalf of our family, my siblings, and also those who we hold dear in our hearts. So, final words. Dad was very small in stature, but was very robust like a monument. A very handsome man who was a character and a reassuring presence we all felt during very difficult times. Dad was very generous and loving and dutiful and a beautiful soul. That brought joy and fulfillment to many.
It's okay.
Go on,
It's
go.
okay. It's okay.
Can you finish this? Okay, here we go. Here we go, Dad. Spread your wings, Dad. Spread your wings and soar high with the mightiest and greatest. Thank you for everything. From each and every one of us. We will never be able to adequately repay you for all you've done for us. But we will make every effort to perpetuate your beautiful and honorable legacy by virtue of your shining example, knowing that we will never be able to match or exceed it. Knowing this, every struggle and effort we make to do so will be worth it from what we know will be the result of our greatest effort. Thank you.